Guys, something may have slipped out. A rumor has been gaining traction over the last few days, and it is about to change the entire landscape of Port Charles. We are hearing a lot of insider buzz regarding Spoon Island, specifically the grand, Gothic, and historically complicated estate of Wyndemere. For a long time, that castle has been a place of captivity, dark secrets, and WSB nightmares, especially with the recent Ross Cullum hostage situation. But now, unconfirmed information suggests that Valentine is making a massive play to completely reclaim Wyndemere. He does not just want it back as a real estate asset. He wants to transform that dark fortress into a brand new, loving home. And he does not want to live there alone. The whispers behind the scenes indicate that Valentine is planning to move Charlotte back into the only place she has ever truly considered her sanctuary, and more shockingly, he wants Carly to move in with them. If we look at Charlotte's current situation, this makes perfect sense. Charlotte has been feeling completely alienated. Her relationship with Lulu is fractured, filled with heated arguments and a deep sense of betrayal, because Lulu cannot stand the fact that Charlotte lied to hide Valentine in Carly's attic. Charlotte is desperate for stability, and Valentine knows that giving her Wyndemere back would be the ultimate peace offering. It is his way of restoring her world. But bringing Carly into the mix, that is a bold, massive step. Valentine and Carly's romance blossomed in the shadows, born out of mutual danger and shared enemies like Jack Brennan and Ross Cullum. Now, Valentine wants to bring that romance into the light and crown Carly as the new queen of his castle. Most viewers believe that this is simply the beginning of a beautiful, albeit slightly unconventional, blended family storyline. Everyone assumes that we are about to watch a domestic drama unfold, where the biggest conflict will be Lulu storming the castle gates to demand custody of Charlotte, while Carly plays the fierce stepmother figure defending her new territory. The obvious explanation seems to be that Valentine is finally getting his happily ever after, leaving his dark, deceptive past behind to build a legitimate, peaceful life with the woman he loves and the daughter he adored. It sounds like a perfect soap opera redemption arc, right? What if we're looking at this the wrong way? What if that wasn't the real reason this domestic setup is being heavily teased? Let us pivot and look at the absolute wild card in this scenario. Jason. Jason just made his highly anticipated return to Port Charles, and his freedom was entirely secured by a secret deal Jocelyn made with WSB head Z. Jason is a free man, but in the world of the WSB, freedom always comes with invisible strings attached. What if Jason is handed a highly classified special WSB mission? A mission that requires him to monitor a severe underlying threat that is somehow directly linked to Valentine? And what if the only way to effectively execute the surveillance is for Jason to physically embed himself right in the middle of the target? That is right. What if Jason is forced to move into Wyndemere? If you ask me, the idea of Jason packing his signature black t-shirts and moving into a guest wing of Valentine's Gothic castle is the most brilliant, tension-filled, behind-the-scenes possibility we have heard in years. But let us dig deeper into Jason's psychology here. We all know Jason has never, ever been comfortable with Valentine being the new man in Carly's life. Jason knows Valentine's history of manipulation, his ties to dangerous mercenaries, and his sheer capacity for deception. Jason has spent his entire adult life acting as Carly's ultimate protector, her human shield against the dark forces of Port Charles. So, what if Jason actually wants this WSB assignment? I keep wondering whether Jason is intentionally using this official government mission as the perfect, unassailable excuse to insert himself into Carly's new living situation. By taking the assignment, Jason has a legitimate, undeniable reason to be inside Wyndemere 24/7. He can turn the castle into his own personal WSB surveillance hub, but his primary target might not be international terrorism, it might just be Valentine's romantic intention. Jason could be weaponizing his WSB badge to play the ultimate bodyguard and, intentionally or not, the ultimate third wheel. This brings us to a few wildly different ways this could play out. That's one possibility. Pure, unadulterated sabotage. In this scenario, Jason's hidden agenda is entirely personal. He uses the WSB mission as a smokescreen to systematically dismantle Valentine and Carly's relationship from the inside out. Imagine the sheer psychological warfare. Valentine is trying to create a romantic, idyllic life, hosting dinners and trying to bond with Carly and Charlotte, while Jason is just standing in the corner of the room, arms crossed, staring Valentine down. Jason wouldn't even have to do much. His mere stoic, intimidating presence would be enough to drive Valentine absolutely insane. Valentine would constantly feel like he is on trial in his own home, and Carly would be agonizingly trapped right in the middle of this suffocating testosterone battle. But another theory is that Jason is not the one pulling the strings at all. What if the situation is being manipulated by the WSB? We know Z is a master chess player. Z knows perfectly well that Jason's ultimate weak spot, his Achilles heel, is Carly. What if Z is intentionally exploiting Jason's protective nature over Carly to get Jason to do the WSB's dirty work? We know Valentine is currently in possession of a highly mysterious black box, the one he claims belongs to Ross Cullum, but actually belongs to Jack Brennan. Valentine is trying to decode it and sell it. What if Z wants that box, and he knows Jason will tear Wyndemere apart brick by brick if he thinks it will keep Carly safe? In this scenario, Jason is an unwitting pawn in a massive international intelligence game, blinded by his own desperate need to protect Carly from Valentine. And then there is a third scenario, one that highlights Valentine's absolute cunning. What if Valentine completely anticipates Jason's surveillance and decides to use it to his advantage? Valentine is a master manipulator. If he knows Jason is watching his every move, Valentine could intentionally orchestrate situations to make Jason look completely unhinged, paranoid, and obsessively jealous. Valentine could play the perfect, patient, loving partner to Carly, constantly pointing out how Jason is invading their privacy and refusing to let Carly be happy. By doing this, Valentine could slowly poison Carly's perspective of Jason, making her believe that Jason is the actual problem. Valentine could successfully use Jason's own protective instincts to push Carly further away from her best friend and permanently into Valentine's arms. These are all fascinating psychological games, but guys, something about this feels hidden. There is a layer to this rumor that feels far more sinister than just two men fighting over a woman in a big castle. We have to look at the darkest, most terrifying angle of this potential storyline. What if Jason moves into Wyndemere expecting a petty romantic rivalry, expecting to just glare at Valentine over morning coffee, but instead he stumbles upon something legitimately horrifying? What if Jason discovers that Valentine is hiding a secret so massive, so dangerous, that it threatens to blow up all of Port Charles? We know Valentine has his hands on Jack Brennan's black box. We know he was involved in the cold fusion prototype that Ross Cullum tried to steal. What if Valentine is secretly reactivating that dangerous technology right under the castle? Or what if Valentine has forged a new deadly alliance with someone even worse than Jen Sidwell? If Jason uncovers a legitimate lethal threat hidden in the catacombs of Wyndemere, the entire dynamic shifts instantly. The petty romantic war evaporates, and the castle transforms into a literal high-stakes WSB battlefield. Valentine will assume Jason is just making up lies to ruin his relationship with Carly. Valentine will fight back, thinking this is just Jason being a jealous saboteur. But Jason will know that he is the only thing standing between Carly and total annihilation. This is the scenario that should terrify every viewer. Carly would be completely trapped inside a stone fortress, isolated on an island, standing directly in the crossfire between the man she is falling in love with and the man who has protected her for decades. Both men are highly trained, incredibly lethal, and absolutely convinced that they are in the right. If Jason truly intends to stop Valentine, and Valentine refuses to let his new life be destroyed, the situation inside those castle walls could detonate faster and more violently than anyone could ever predict. Charlotte's dream of a safe, happy home would be shattered, replaced by a terrifying war zone where the two most important men in Carly's life are ready to kill each other. There may be more going on here. We cannot confirm if Jason has already packed his bags for Spoon Island, or if Valentine has officially signed the deed to reclaim Wyndemere. But the pieces are undeniably moving into place. The tension between Jason, Carly, and Valentine is a powder keg just waiting for a match. Will Wyndemere become a beautiful new sanctuary for a blended family, Or will it become a claustrophobic prison where secrets, surveillance, and lethal intentions finally collide? We will be watching every single frame closely, because whatever happens next, it is going to be explosive.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.